she's just sitting there and she just turned around and went, oh, I think I'm on fire.
I'm on fire.
And we were like, yes.
Yeah, you are, girl.
She was like, I'm on fire. And we're like, ah! yeah.
No, we're excited to talk about these scenes.
I know.
It's going to be a little walk down memory lane.
I know.
I kind of want to pause right now.
Well, I think just to say, firstly, I think the main thing everyone will notice is Sean's work.
Amazing.
Sean Miller, who's our incredible makeup designer. And this is a nightmare for a makeup designer because it's wet and it's lots of latex prosthetics. And I'm sure, and that will be the main thing that people will be noticing about this shot, probably, don't you think?
Yeah, no, that's all they'll be thinking about. Like, oh, prosthetics, interesting.
That'll be interesting.
Margaret, what were you noticing? I want to know what was going through your mind.
No, I was thinking about prosthetics. No, I mean, I'm thinking about the lighting. I'm thinking about the fact that Jacob actually had a burn on his back, which made the makeup prosthetics process a bit harder at that point. But also the transition, the passage of time thing, like cutting from young Heathcliff to older Heathcliff, using the scars, and that was, I thought, a clever editing.
Well, and also what we wanted to show with this scene is like the moment that Cathy and Heathcliff, basically just before this, Heathcliff says to Cathy, like, do not throw yourself at Mr. Linton. Suddenly, this kind of friendship, deep, loving friendship, basically goes from something safe, flirtation and all of that kind of stuff, and tension that's safe, to coming close to a declaration. And so this is like, suddenly Cathy's having to like, it's like, we joked, it was like, she suddenly noticed Heathcliff's hot. This is also Charlie XCX's incredible music with Anthony's score overlaid.
Which is amazing to see that collaboration, because we have quite a classical movie score and quite this like modern, very edgy, sort of unique sound from Charlie, and to marry the two and make it always work for the scenes and the emotion that you're meant to be feeling without it being distracting but additive is actually so much harder than it sounds like it would be.
Yeah, really complicated.
Did you expect a Brat Summer vibe album, or did you expect her to go in the direction she did?
The thing is Charlie's just like, she's deeply, deeply connected, and she's like prodigiously gifted musically. And because I've been a fan of hers since she began, so, whatever that must be, over 10 years, I know what she can do because I have every one of her albums and I've heard every one of her songs. And I think the reason...
You are a self-confessed angel.
I am 1,000% an angel. But I think the thing is with Charlie is, the reason that Brat Summer is so huge is that album tapped into something that we all needed emotionally, which was to unleash. She understood that. That's not just being a musical genius, it's being kind of social genius. She understands the way that people need to feel. And so it never felt to me like I knew that, all I knew was I wanted her to read the script and I wanted to hear if she emotionally connected to it, and that was the conversation we had. And she called me immediately, like the busiest woman in the world except for Margot. She was like mid-tour. I sent her the script. She read it immediately. She called me immediately. And she said, what do you want? And I said, maybe a song? And she said, how about an album? And she just started sending me the most transcendently beautiful, emotionally connected music. Because that's the thing about her. She really can do anything.
And Emerald wasn't prescriptive with her at all. Emerald wasn't like, well, we need it to sound like this, and I need an element of this in the script, and it needs to elevate these moments. It was like, again, the way you trust the people you collaborate with, and then therefore get the best and most inspiring work out of them.
Yeah, she just knew. The best way.
She had the freedom to be like, okay, what do I feel? And what's my interpretation of this material? How's it making me feel? And how's that going to come out in my music? Honestly, when we got House through, I was like, I never saw that coming. Never. There's been no conversations of like, wouldn't it be cool if we opened the movie and there's like some kind of like voice, like none of those conversations. It was like freedom to create, and then, well, it was just a good collaboration whereby what she was feeling was in line with what the movie was and needed to have.
And we had Anthony as well, so that's the other thing, is that you can also kind of fold yourselves in.
Yeah.
So it's, it was just joyful. She's just incredible. She's incredible. Just doing some hay work.
You know what I'm thinking about now?
What?
I'm thinking about Jacob tripping on his things when he did that shot. So he's here picking up. We've got a moment of
really
him,
good blooper. Of basically the most coolest, most sort of iconic, gorgeous moment, and he just ate dirt.
He like absolutely stacked it.
He stacked it so hard, and like none of us could. There was no sense that anyone was going to be like gracious about it or like kind or like help him. We all just like laughed.
Ourselves laughing.
And what was also really great was that we were also at the same time shooting the inserts of the pig being slaughtered. And so I was going between sort of pig slaughter to, this situation. And what was great was that Ewan Mitchell had to wear this sort of like white sort of latex coat to stop the pig blood from getting on him.
Very American Psycho.
Not real blood, I should say. And he came to watch it, and I have a photograph of Jacob sort of sweaty, leaning over the hay, sort of looking beautiful, and Ewan just in his latex thing, just staring at him. And it is the most psychotic. And I was like, we were just like, that's the film we want to see.
Gosh, what else happened?
We had Shazad
falling
over.
Alison's hair lighting on fire.
Alison's hair caught
Jacob
on fire. And Jacob
just
just...
it out with his hands.
Jacob just clasping
puts
the
fire out. It's
with
wild.
his bare hands. She's just sitting there, and she just turned around and went, I think I'm on fire.
I'm on fire.
And we were like, yes!
Yeah, you are, girl.
She was like, I'm on fire!
We're like, ah!
yeah.
Monitors cut to black. I was like,
I'm kind of devastated we didn't get to see like Jacob's heroism because so there's lots of bloopers, but
a lot of me laughing while trying to keep a straight face looking at kneading dough.
Yes.
Very hard to not laugh at that.
That was good. I mean, Linus's lighting.
The colours, the blue, the orange.
The set, this is all completely, this is all in studio. This whole world is built from scratch. Every single thing in it. And to be able to build what is essentially a little village, it's just incredible.
Inside a sound studio is insane.
It's just amazing.
Chimneys, ventilation had to be built into the studios. Every fire was a working fire with a chimney. Drainage systems had to be put in because we had real livestock and rain machines and all sorts of things. I mean, it was...
Yeah, and upstairs and downstairs.
Upstairs, I mean, it was an insane set.
It was wonderful.
Amazing.
And then here, Margot, just absolutely the most beautiful shot in the world of somebody who's accidentally fallen in love.
With her kind of brother.
With her semi-brother. It's all perfectly legal.
Yeah.
You two,
Is this a pivotal point for you that you realised you'd cast the right people for this?
I honestly, at every stage, in every moment, the whole cast is perfect. Because we do a lot of rehearsal, and we do rehearsals all together in a room. Like, it's really important that everyone sort of just like has that time. And, obviously Margot is a genius and Jacob is a genius. To play Shazad's character Edgar, really tough.
Really tough.
Or Nellie. I mean, Hong is incredible. Or Isabella, who in the book is sort of, doesn't really get as much attention as I think she deserves. Like, so it's everyone. So like every day for me, also like as a fan of every single thing that I saw on this movie, every single set, every single performance was just like, just gold, honestly. This though.
This was everything.
Okay.
The doll.
It's quite lovely. I made it the night that Edgar proposed once I knew that you would join us here forever. Is this your real hair? Yes, for I had been collecting it from the brush while you stayed with us. I knew I could not use anything else for your hair. It's so singular.
It's just so funny.
Oh, this must have taken a very long time. No matter, for I have nothing to do.
What you'll see there is that the doll has the exact same hairstyle and dress that Kathy's wearing. So what Isabella has done is she has anticipated, in fact, probably laid out the dress for Kathy to wear and the hair so that she could do this. So Kathy is sort of Isabella's living doll.
It's not even like how creepy it is in the immediate moment. It's knowing the forethought that went into it.
Yes, it's knowing the planning.
Really takes her to a different level. I love Isabella so much.
We're obsessed with her.
Were you genuinely quite fearful of, or like freaked out? Because Alison plays it so well.
Oh no, I loved it. I and it's funny because I obviously want to give Emerald like all the options sort of thing. So it's like, okay, I can play levels of either Kathy being like totally creeped out by this or being like flattered, you know, like, well, so someone should make a doll out of me. I do have lovely hair. You're right, it is singular. I'm glad you've been collecting it. So yeah, it was kind of fun to... Kathy's a fun character in that you can have the less expected reaction. But
Totally, and when she showed her sort of skin room as well, there were versions as well that Margot did of like, yes, yeah, it's a room made of my skin, obviously, because it is the most beautiful colour in the world, because my face is perfect. And that is the kind of, like, that is why Margot is so genius, is it's always towing that line between a complete monster and sort of lovability. And here, and also I just want to say, just in the background
I was
here,
about to say, please
you'll
talk about
see
the
Anne
sculptures.
Carrington's sculptures, and so we had the most amazing sculptors working on this, visual artists who were like, you know, unbelievably, profoundly genius in their own right and have shown in museums all over the world. And Anne Carrington, so these sculptures are made of forks and spoons, and the whole room was designed to feel like it was full of condensation. So it was sort of this kind of silver gilt, and with these like crystals that was sort of sliding off the wall. They were in a Regency pattern, but they were kind of often like pooling on the floor. And Anne Carrington let us borrow these like priceless sculptures because it sort of felt like, again, everything in this house, even if it's like a spoon, is like a spoon. I think the other thing is that Wuthering Heights, the book, my favourite book of all time, isn't funny. I think that is just one thing I will say for it. And it shouldn't be, it's not supposed to be. But because it's so emotionally intense, because it's so dark, and it's gothic, the thing about the gothic is there are moments where it does lean into kind of camp and melodrama, and I think you can't really shy away from that. And so much of this, it kind of needed to be in there. And so like, I think also what I haven't spoken enough about is what a brilliant comic actress Margot is, and what a brilliant comic actress Alison is, because these are not easy scenes to do, like tonally, to kind of go from like intense weeping to this sort of clever, witty, sort of dark comedy.
no, it's so fun though. But yeah, finding like the tonal line, even the tonal inch that we were all searching for, every department about set design, costume design, whatever, but also with the performances, especially going from like Wuthering Heights to the Thrushcross Grange set, which is more stylized and heightened and it looks a different way. So yeah, we were all trying to figure out like, oh, how big, and it's always just fun to go big anyway. So there are a lot of ridiculous takes of Alison and I just being absolutely manic and
I'd
insane.
love to make that film. I really would love to make the like fully
two of them,
deranged,
fully
Wuthering
deranged
Heights extra deranged cut, and it's 6 hours long, and the nun does what she could have done in the beginning and wasn't allowed to for reasons.
Let us put little Catherine here.
Oh, so satisfying.
Next to me.
So this, I think we can say,
Beyond stunning.
this is the wide shot of the room. And this is where I want to lie down and die, because this is every single person's work. So these rooms are built to feel like a doll's house. So the scale is deliberately made to make Kathy and Isabella look like dolls. I mean, everything. From the top here, you can see the ceiling rose. All of the ceiling roses in Thrushcross Grange have hands holding the chandeliers. You know, you can see this incredible lighting, these Anne Carrington sculptures, the food, which took hundreds and hundreds of meetings. What we had to do, and this took months, this was built in order to build the scale model house which we see here, the doll's house, which is an exact, perfect replica, down to the food. And so then what we had to do in order to have this kind of crossfade where Isabella puts her hand in through the window of the doll's house to put the Kathy doll in, it needed to feel at first this quite quick crossfade that a hand was coming into the actual window of the room. So it meant we had to kind of use
match the scale,
we had to
so
match,
that the trick of that in the edit was going to feel like a hand was reaching into this wide frame.
So it had
then
to
you
be
realize you've pushed in. Yeah,
exact. It had to be an exact,
so
precise copy. So it was just every single person, and we all just cheered so much when it was done, because it's unbelievably hard.
And
it's
just
one of those things
that's
that's
really
really hard.
house in the dollhouse.
As Kathy says, as Margot says, the two little dolls, and then the two little dolls. And we were wondering how many dolls inside dolls inside dolls there could be. And, you know, for Isabella, it could be infinite until her fingers couldn't make them small enough. No, but this was the real. This is the
one
pleasure.
of those shots on set that everyone was just like, oh my God, this is amazing.
It's really fun. And when you can do stuff in camera, when everyone's that good, that's just fun.
Oh, next to me.
Just love how she says that. Oh,
And
next to
next to me.
She's always like a quiver with excitement.
Well, she's sort of a breather. I think that's one of the things about Alison as well. She's sort of, the way that she breathes is sort of so visceral.
Yeah.
Like you can feel her like trembling and like, it's just so brilliant. It's because she's all like restrained, whereas Kathy's all out. So that when they're together, it's so like delicious to watch, because they're two sort of like, it's just like an apex predator and a little minnow, you know, and you're just like, she's gonna get swallowed.
Just on that, what do you want people to take away from the characters? Like, I felt like I shouldn't like your character, but then I kind of do. Alison's I do like, but I feel sorry for her. What do you think people will?
Absolutely, totally up to them. That's the joy. Well, also that's the joy of Brontë. She's like radically amoral. That's why people really were furious when the book came out. And that's the interesting distinction. They didn't just criticize it. They were angry. And they were angry because every single novel of the time is didactic, and hers isn't. And so for us, it was never about what can people take away from it, because you can't make a movie like that. You just make a movie that is a story, and everyone, you know, and we kind of we have unlimited sympathy for each individual character, for inside themselves, and then, you know, people will just feel what they feel, and that's good. I mean, you can't possibly tell people what to feel, otherwise they leave the cinema like, okay.
And I love so much that Emerald let us all be the most extreme versions of our characters, even if that meant that they were very unlikable. I don't think anyone could watch this movie and not be like, God, Kathy's a bit of a bitch. Not even just a bitch, like she is like cruel, recreationally cruel.
Yeah.
She's quite the plainest girl I ever laid eyes on, and dull too. Shockingly dull. She's practically a simpleton. I cannot sit here all day talking nonsense with you.
But you have to have empathy for her at the end, or at the very least want things to work out with her and Heathcliff. But that just means instead of pulling back on her unlikable traits, you just need to work harder at having people be emotionally invested, which is just a way better way to, you know, that should be the objective. It shouldn't be like, let's do less here and then we won't have to worry so much about satisfying that. It's like, let's give the most and work even harder at that, so this is a fuller experience for the audience. Which is what, that's really, I mean, that's really up to Emerald. And I truly think most directors wouldn't let Kathy be the way you let her be in this movie. And it's how she is in the book. I mean, she's an absolute, like the way Nellie speaks about her in the book as our, you know, kind of narrator. I mean, the things she says about her, it's just, you're like, wow. Yeah, this was a very difficult, exasperating person to be around.
Yeah. And I always just think as well, if you are a person who goes about the world thinking that you're a likable, sympathetic character, then you're a sociopath. You know, honestly. We all, the thing that we fear most is how horrible we really are. And the thing about Wuthering Heights, it's about two people who know how horrible each other is, and they love each other anyway. That's what the connection is between them. And so, you know, I always think it's much more interesting to let people be a kind of full, unfiltered.
Like, I weirdly find, like, something I find romantic, because it is romantic, is the bit when Heathcliff and Kathy are having that, like, she's just pulled Isabella's hair and being horrible to Isabella, pulled her hair, show him your dolls, like, she's being so cruel and humiliating her, and he's just watching her with a smile on his face, happy. He's like, she loves me. And he's seeing her at her absolute worst, and if anything, loving her more is, I find it weirdly romantic.
And also, there are lots of people who are thrilled by, do you know what I mean? I know a lot of extremely sensible men with extremely terrifying wives. And they love it. And they love it, let me tell you. Okay. Oh.
Your father will be very angry if we're late. Please.
Stop worrying. It will give over, I promise. It will.
But the sky's black, Kathy.
No. You see there? Blue.
That's not enough blue to get us back.
Oh, it is. We'll see. For blue is blue, no matter how small.
These guys.
Owen and Charlotte.
Heavyweight actors.
Heavyweight actors. And like, what a difficult job to come in and be, you know, and play Margot and Jacob. I mean,
They were utterly fearless. If they were nervous about that, it never showed. From the very first table readout, I was like, oh shit, I gotta get on her level. As soon as she started, you know, speaking as Kathy, I was kind of like, all right. God, I gotta lift my game. She was so strong from the first word at the table read. I was like, wow, incredible.
She's amazing. And this is her first film, and she just like, well, again, she's just a natural. She's got the same thing, I think, that Margot has, where it's just a kind of deep, it's just a deep connection, and so it makes it all very fun and easy. And then Owen came to audition. I mean, Carmel Cochran, who's the incredible casting director on this, like, she was brilliant at finding sort of, I don't know, like, if you're looking for young actors or anything like that. And he came to audition, and he read with Charlotte as well. And Adolescence hadn't come out. We hadn't even heard of it. We didn't know what it was. And then on this day, I think, it came out. You know, and it was just an explosion.
Overnight, everyone's like, he's the next De Niro. It was like the true essence of overnight sensation.
Yeah, and he was so gracious and so calm, and you know, and just an amazingly talented person. That's the thing. You just know. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, you just know, and it's very clear when people come in.
There was a time where I was thinking, if we don't find the kid actors who are really good, like, I think we should postpone the film. Like, I was like, it's just not worth making, because the whole story relies too much on starting with them and ending with them. And if they aren't great, it's like, this is all gonna fall flat on its face.
Totally.
For blue is blue, no matter how small.
Oh, when they hold hands.
Heartbreaking.
I love it.
Heartbreaking.
Oh, well, thanks for that, guys.
Thank you guys
Thank you.
so much.
Yeah, it's very
Thank
enjoyable.
you.